So, why do empaths stay trapped in relationships with narcissists? It's a question that, let's be honest, comes from a really deep, painful place. The answer, at least from the perspective we're digging into today, is both incredibly simple and profound, and it has absolutely nothing to do with waiting for them to change. It's all about understanding the chain that's holding you.
This really hits the nail on the head. The source material we're drawing from is crystal clear on this. The narcissist doesn't hold the key to your freedom because the prison isn't some external thing they've built. The chain, the whole trap, is internal. It's a compulsion, a pattern, a drive you might not even be aware of.
Okay, so if the chain is on the inside, well, that means the key has to be in there too, right? So our journey today is all about finding that key. It's about understanding that the answer isn't about changing them, it's about a radical shift inside you.
To break a chain, you've got to see it first. So let's start right there. Let's dive in and really try to understand the invisible forces at play, this deep, almost ancient dance that keeps the empath completely bound.
Now, this is a really important shift in how we think about this. We tend to see empathy as this pure, almost divine gift. But from this viewpoint, it's something forged in fire. I mean, it's the survival skill of a kid who had to learn how to read a room, to scan for emotional danger, to feel everything before it hit them. That sensitivity, born out of a need to feel safe, is the very thing that gets lit up in the dynamic with a narcissist.
And this slide, wow, it just lays bare the tragic disconnect at the heart of this whole thing. You're both in the same room, but you are not in the same relationship. The empath sees this grand project of healing, of connection. The narcissist, they see a perfect mirror, a source of energy to fill their own void. This fundamental misunderstanding, that's the engine that drives the whole painful cycle. And this is the real mechanism of the trap. This is how it works. In psychological terms, you're not actually seeing the person standing in front of you. You're projecting your own unmet needs onto them. The parent you could never quite heal, the love you never felt you received. You see the shadow of your own longing, and you mistake it for destiny. That projection, that's the chain.
So, once you're caught in that web of projection, what happens next? Well, that's when the next stage begins. This long, unbelievably exhausting chase for something that, in reality, was never even there to begin with.
And this is the perfect way to think about it. The narcissist's love, it's a mirage. It's this perfect image of something that looks so real, so life-saving from a distance, you're running towards it, parched and desperate, absolutely believing it's going to quench your thirst. And that's the cruel joke of a mirage, isn't it? The closer you get, the further away it seems to move. They'll dangle affection, they'll promise to change, and then, poof, they pull it away. This cycle keeps you in this state of constant longing, always pushing that boulder up the hill, believing that this time it's going to be different. And here it is, the profound, liberating truth of it all. The water you were chasing across that desert, it was never out there. It's like this powerful dream image from the source material. A person finally gives up chasing the mirage. They collapse from exhaustion, and it's only then that they discover a hidden spring bubbling up right where they are. The fulfillment you're so desperately seeking is not in them, it's inside you. But finding that spring inside you, that requires a choice, a huge one. You have to stop the chase. In this moment, this awakening, it's not some gentle, happy moment. It's terrifying. So why is it so terrifying? Because for so long, that hope, that illusion, that was your fuel. It was your whole purpose. To let that go means facing a void, an abyss, where that constant distraction used to be. It's like the moment the music stops and you're left in a deafening silence. So, okay, how do you actually do it? How do you stop? It really breaks down into two concrete actions. First, you consciously stop searching. You drop the rope. Game over. Second, you have to let go of the identity of the savior. This is a kind of death, really. The death of the false self you built to survive. But what comes after is a rebirth. All right, so you've stopped looking outside for the answers. Now the real work begins. Now you got to turn inward and face everything you've been avoiding, all those parts of yourself that you were projecting onto them. You see, the narcissist often acts as a kind of container for all the parts of you that you just couldn't accept. Your rage at being mistreated, your hunger for validation, your deep fear of abandonment, even your own hidden power and capacity for cruelty. To break free for good, you have to reclaim these pieces of yourself. You have to finally look in the mirror and integrate your own inner beast. And look, this isn't some mental exercise. You can't just think your way through this. It's a deep emotional process, and it's fueled by grief. You have to grieve the years you lost, the love you never got, the beautiful illusion you clung to for so long. Those tears aren't weakness. They're the alchemical fire that purifies you and breaks the old spell. And when you walk through that fire, what you find on the other side isn't emptiness. It's this deep, unshakable freedom. This is the final stage of the journey, becoming completely sovereign in your own soul. And this ultimate goal, this state of being, it actually has a name. It's called individuation. It's the journey of becoming who you truly are. You're no longer just one half of a whole, desperately looking for someone else to complete you. You are rooted in your own center. And from that place of wholeness, you can finally experience what real love is.
And this just sums up the difference perfectly, doesn't it? The love you knew before, it was a caged thing. It was based on need, on bargaining. But the love you find after this journey is free. It's not a desperate search, it's a radiant overflow. It's not a bird you're desperately holding in a cage, but one that chooses to perch on your shoulder, free to fly away at any moment, but choosing to stay.
So here's the bottom line, the big takeaway. You can wait forever for them to change, but your freedom will never, ever come from the outside. True liberation happens in an instant. The very instant you realize the prison was never them. The prison was the search.
And that brings this entire journey right back to you, right now. The key has been in your hand this whole time. This isn't just about knowing something new. It's about having the courage to act. So are you ready? Are you ready to face that void, to reclaim your own shadow, and to finally take a drink from the spring that has been waiting inside you all along?